we knew it was gonna be explosive and serious, and you know, Pac couldn't wait to play for somebody, and they, you know, T-Mo B just happened to walk in the studio. At that time, they was in LA working, so you know they came to the studio. Pac was like, "Hey man, let me play y'all something."
Push play, boom, hit him up, mother. You know, I'm like, oh man, he talking about hitting Buddy. Why? Talking about all this stuff. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. We sitting there looking at each other like, woo, wee. Boy, these boy mean business, boy.
I know y'all did some time down here in the A doing some good living too, man.
Absolutely.
Tell me
man.
about that experience, man, because I mean that was the 90s.
Well, B-High, man, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I was the first one to get down here.
Oh, man.
I came down here in '93, man. I was supposed to be going to college. I was supposed to be going to Georgia State.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I had other plans. You feel me? I had other plans, and then Pac came down here for Freaknik.
Tell me about it, man.
Yeah, man. He came down here for Freak, man. We walked from his hotel right to the underground. A crowd of people behind us, you know what I'm saying? And Pac was looking around. It's like, okay, Atlanta might be a cool spot. And then a year or so later, he came, bought him a house out here in Lithonia. And that was a thug mansion right there.
Yeah.
And that's where we was kicking it at. And, you know, ATL is definitely one of our homes, man, and it always has been.
I mean, what was it like during that Freaknik time? Because, I mean, the city really hadn't been the same since that time. And, I mean, like I say, in the 90s with the hip-hop all together, the music was coming from everywhere.
Definitely.
And everybody was bringing it as hard as they possibly could. What was that experience like during that time, being in this city with folks going crazy and partying like a mug?
Well, much love to the Dungeon family, man, first of all, because we was all big fans of their music, man. And, you know, Rico Wade and Dre and Big Boy and CeeLo and the Goodie Mob, we was all loving their music while we was out here living, but Atlanta was just wide open, and it was like the beginning of a movement that you see now. You know, I know a lot of kids don't really know where it started at, but it started right there in the early 90s with all the great groups that was coming up right out of this city, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we was just happy to be a part of it and just loving it. And I know for myself, you know, being 19, 20 years old, you know, it was wide out here by myself, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Uncle OG, man. He had a condo down there, put me up in the condo and said, figure it out. You know what I mean? And I did, man. And Atlanta was a beautiful place to be at that time, man. I learned a lot out here.
Now, another thing, man, I know y'all had a relationship with Tupac, man.
Pac.
Tell me about that, man, because y'all was supposed to get busy on some world-changing, world-moving stuff, man.
Man, you know what? It's funny you say that, man. That's like really, me personally, my favorite artist of all time. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how you feel about him. That was my favorite partner. You know, and to get received by him like how he received us. So the first time I could honestly say I saw him in person, because he was locked up when we first came out. First time I saw him in person was at the Soul Train Music Awards. Soul Train Music Awards, and the same pictures be on the internet right now. It'd be really, man, scary to see sometimes, and just bring back that memory, man. When he was walking with Suge Knight, and I can remember him coming through the crowd, and he popped up on us. Goodie Mob, Goodie Mob, and we was like, dang. Pac, you know what I'm saying? Tupac, he was like, yo, look, he had a handful of flyers. He had just just sold 5 million records on that All Eyes on Me album. He was saying, look, man, I want y'all to come to my party tonight. You know, I want y'all to be special. Look, man, take some of these VIP passes that get y'all in. Y'all come on through, man. Kick it with us tonight. We're gonna have a good time tonight. I'm like, Pac, I am there. You guarantee that one, bro. I'm coming. So we got back to the hotel. I still remember that. We got back to the hotel after doing what we had to do and everything. And everybody was like, man, I'm tired, man. I'm just going to probably chill out more, man. You finna get out in the street for real like that. I said, boy, I'm going to that thing, man. I'm sorry, man. I had to take a cab over there, man. I'm going. So I called my road manager, man. My road manager's like, yo, T, you want to go? I'm like, yeah, I want to go. He said, let's go. Me, Ron Bird,
Yeah.
and this dude named Happy Hour Hank, man.
Happy Hour Hank.
Yes, sir. We got in that doggone Jeep, man. We didn't have a top on. It was freezing in L.A., man. We would ride, man. I just remember being so cold. Like, oh, Lord. So, man, we pull up, man, to the Century Center, man. That's where the big party was at, man. Pull up to the Century Center. And, man, it was really strange, man, because we were pulling into the party. Everybody was coming back this way. So we was like, dang, is it over? I'm like, look at the time, like, it ain't numbered. Like 10 something, 11 something. I know it ain't over now. Mm-hmm. So we stopped, rolled down the window. Hey, baby girl, what's happening? She's like, hey, how you? Like, why everybody going this way? Well, they just got to fighting. Oh man, we done missed the darn party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they got to fight. So we roll up on them, cat. We roll up to the front, like, cause Ron, he wasn't going for that. He was like, you want to meet Pac? I'm like, yeah, I do, man. Yeah. I want to see him, man.
Yeah.
He said, let's go. So we ride to the front where all the people were standing. We finally get up to the front. We just start we see Suge pull out in his white Rolls Royce. He pulled out. Pac was behind him in the black Rolls Royce, both convertible. It was probably, I ain't exaggerating, man, it was probably 20 cars behind them. So I'm like, that's that gang stuff going on, Let me just, sit back for a minute, because it ain't the other three of us, man, So I'm like, I ain't finna even try to get into nothing. Yeah. I ain't got no gun. I ain't got my posse. They make it home, exactly. So we gonna stay put right now. Let's just chill. Ron Bird was like, look, we gonna go holler at Suge. I don't care, man. Look, I know Suge. So I'm like, you finna ride up to the front of that caravan right there, Bob. Them folk, they might blast on us. But they might not know what our intentions are.
Exactly.
They don't know who we are.
Yeah.
Man, this man pull up beside Suge Knight. Hey, Suge, look, yo, man, check it out, man. I got T-Mo from Goodie Mob over here in the car with me. I'm looking at him like, man, you just called me out in front of all these folks. They might have a problem. Somebody might have a problem with it. Like, I just thinking like, man, he just called me all the way out right now, homie. Man, Suge was like, man, I love y'all's music, man. Great music, man. Hey, man, much success to y'all brothers, man. Yeah. Love it, man. Why don't y'all follow us over, man? We about to go to this club called The Sanctuary. We was like, man, we gonna do that.
Yeah.
We got, man, they wouldn't let us break in line. They was on it, man. So we ended up following behind them, man. When I tell you, these boys running through there like they had Obama in the car with them. Man, they running every red light you could see, man. Police sitting there, they ain't made nobody stop for nothing, boy. Cause I guess it was so many of them.
Yeah.
Police stopped the 29th car.
Yeah.
Still got 28 folks. 28 more folks running lights, you know what I mean? So we just running back. We got there, man. And it was just, I just kicking it with Pac, man. Just standing there talking, chilling with him, man. It was just amazing, man, to be received by a great like that, man. And for him to want to do music with us. I was in the studio with him the very next day. E.D.I got a spot on YouTube talking about it too, man.
Yeah, T-Mo told me about when y'all played them that hit them up, man.
Yeah.
What was going
right
on
there
in the
night.
studio, man? They in the building and y'all say, hey, man, y'all check this song out we about to drop. What y'all think about this new banger? What was the reaction and what was y'all thinking when y'all were playing that song, man?
Man, look. We knew it was gonna be, explosive. Serious. We knew it was gonna be explosive and serious, and Pac couldn't wait to play for somebody, and they, G-Mo B just happened to walk in the studio. At that time, they was in L.A. working, so they came to the studio. Pac was like, "Hey, man, let me play y'all something." You know what I mean? And I had a conversation with CeeLo a few months back because he wasn't there that day.
Yeah.
CeeLo was mad, man. He said, man, I decided to lay up with some girl that day, man, and I missed that. He's still mad about that to this day.
Shoot.
Yeah, but Goodie Mob was the first to hit him up.
I was in there with them, boy, that very next day, man. That boy played that Hit 'Em Up song. Boy, it scared me to death, man. And I ain't no scary cat at all, man. But, man, when that man played that song, I was like, is he playing it because he finna say something about us? Or is he playing it just to let us check it out, man?
Yeah.
I was like, you still got to, kind of feel the situation out.
We don't know these.
I don't know these guys like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me get comfortable first, man. Let me just push play, boom, hit him up. I'm like, oh, man, he talking about hitting Buddy. Why? talking about all this stuff. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. We sitting there looking at each other like, woo, wee. Boy, these boy mean business, boy. Like I just knew wasn't nothing good. Couldn't nothing good come from that much going on at that particular time in the industry, man.
When that song dropped and it made all of that noise, man, what were you thinking? Because I mean, that was, I mean, the most vicious and I mean craziest rap battle song ever made. Period. Point blank. It ain't nothing doing that. You see what I'm saying? What was y'all thinking when y'all said we coming out here with the hardest thing that y'all ever heard of y'all damn life?
Man, B-High, that's our first official single. You know what I mean? That's our first record. That record is the Outlaws featuring Tupac. You know what I mean?
Cold.
And you know, I was, like I said before, about time, man, because like I said, we had put in so much work prior to that.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't just walk in the studio and do Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had did Me Against the World and rapped on that album, and you know, I had been in and out the studio prior to that and had songs that we had recorded that Pop was like, nah, that ain't good enough. I'm not putting that out. Y'all not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? Whole album, matter of fact. We did a whole album for Interscope that, you know, got scrapped. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I was like, well, about time we finally got it right.
Yeah. I mean, what was it like in the streets, though, after y'all dropped that, though? Because, I mean, y'all were on the hottest team, the hottest label, and the hottest music coming from that area right there.
Man,
How
pandemonium.
did the people respond to that?
Pandemonium from coast to coast, top to bottom. You know, a lot of my family was down here in Georgia, and they was calling me, you know, literally every 10 minutes, like they playing it again.
Yeah.
They playing it again.
Yeah.
And then they banned that. They banned that motherfucker. And then you never heard it on the radio again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they said, no, we can't have it. You talking about killing your wife, and I had sex with your wife, and my fofo gonna make sure your kids don't grow. So yeah, they had to get that off the air.
Yeah.
Promptly.
Yeah.